Hey guys, this time we're going to be sculpting a male head from scratch. Not going to plan anything, it's more than like, I'm just going to be sculpting this one on the fly so you can see my thought process, and basically it's going to be a quick sculpt. It's not going to be perfect, but I just want you all to, watch and learn, I guess. I am a fast sculptor, however, I have been doing this for 10 years, so, take that into account. Just going forward. But I'm just going to get right into it. So I'm going to start by just putting a little bit of music on because I don't like to sculpt while it's quiet. Just going to activate my pen tablet. I'm just going to get into it. We're going to be sculpting... we're just going to pull things out and just see what we come up with first. So I'll start with just pulling out the neck and the front of the head there. I mean, I could make this into some sort of alien form. Just you got some sort of forehead here, eyes maybe, cheekbones, and then you're leading down to where the nose is. Here, little eyes, mouth. Lips. Just give myself a little bit more resolution. Or I could probably just take this a completely different direction, remove some of this. Maybe this guy looks like a combat ready like alien ready to assault different planets. You just take this sort of form like that. Maybe he's got small eyes, but then why has he got small eyes? Maybe his race is something like they rely more on hearing, so you have to make that apparent by either giving them enhanced ears or something along them lines. Or we could just go a completely different route and just make a human. So let's remove all this. I mean, I want to make a human anyway. So if none of you guys knew, I run a Patreon. I basically provide miniatures and busts for 3D printing. I also sell them on MyMiniFactory. If you go to www.myminiFactory/users/Titan Troll Miniatures, which is like no space. The link is actually at the top left of this screen. You can see my store and everything that I've made pretty much this year, as well as client work and things like that. So we're just gonna, as before, just bring in the nose and the cheeks. Landmarks are the most important things, as I explained on my other video. If you haven't checked that one out, it's a 1 hour video of just a girl bust, really. So this one will probably end up being around the same time. I assume about an hour and a half perhaps. So just change my material here because I don't really like working with the grey. This material is Zebro clay set. You can pick it up online, it's free. It's one I've used since I started sculpting, really. So I need to start thinking about his build. I know this is only a head, but builds take into account a head's take into account your build, so like your weight, your whether you're big, bulky, fat, skinny, all this plays into part because obviously skinny people have skinny faces, fat people have fat necks and things like that. Same with musculature. So I'm going to make this guy I want to make like a battle worn guy because these are always fun to sculpt. So just going to get these landmarks in. They're not perfect. As I said before, it's just getting landmarks in so I know where to go from here. So I can start moving some of these forms around. So like the forehead can come forward. Building the brow, so the brow's here. You know, maybe he's like a little angry boy. Eyes go in the center of the face pretty much. So you can block that in there. And then you can start building in the cheekbones here. And all this leads to the mouth. The corner of the iris is usually at the corner of the mouth. So you'll see, you'll have like an iris here, you've got your eyeball, and you've got your iris, and then this part here, which is like the black bit of your eye, sorry, the colour bit of your eye, will come down to the corner of the mouth. Obviously I need to build all that in, but that's just something to bear in mind, I suppose. Pen's messing up again. I've ordered one, but I sent it to my old address, unfortunately, so I have to wait for that. So just start building this. I need to probably start defining these forms a little bit better. So building the nose there, mouth. I think I need a little bit more resolution. I'm just going to go to about 400,000. If you're new, I suggest not going up this quick because it's easy for things to get really muddy. So if you're sculpting and you're relatively new, I'd suggest staying around 50,000 to begin with, just to get the overall forms down. But because obviously I've been doing this a while, I don't really need to get them forms down because I know where they are. But like I said, if you're studying, I'd ensure you're low enough to be able to move things around easily. Because I work very destructively in the fact that I will literally just get rid of a part and then redo it and sculpt in different areas at the same time. So I'll sculpt, like I started sculpting on the nose, now I'm moving to the cheekbone. I do this basically because I try and keep everything at the same level as I'm sculpting. Yeah, so I can start building the chin. So this guy's going to be like a chunky boy, also like battle ready. So he's going to have like a his chin's going to be defined, but then he's also going to have like an under chin, like a neck fat, I guess. Maybe I just want to make him really fat. So let's say this guy just runs in with a big hammer. Obviously he's carrying the weight to carry said hammer. So let's just do that. So we are roughly 9 minutes in, and we've already got something which is coming together. Looks like he's got a little bit of personality already. He's like a little bit more work, and you'll probably start to see some of the realism. Like he'll be able to talk to you almost. Start building the top brow leading to the skull. I always have an issue with the back of the head, so I always bring them out way too far. I need to make sure that the top of the skull is a little bit flatter as well. I need to bring the eyes in as well. So I'm going to go to stroke in my clay tubes brush, and I'm going to lower down the modifier, increase the roll distance in the modifier brush to 10. That way it removes the texture within the roll distance brush, within the clay tubes brush. This is what it looks like without, it's usually around 1. So you've got like a texture within, that's not too bad actually. I like to make it so it's non-existent. It's a little bit more flowy. So you can see where the corner of the eye would be, is where the corner of the mouth is, and that actually feels right now. So let's start building in the nose and the nostrils. I want to have him looking almost pig-like in his features to get these forms in where fat sits on the face. Also, you've got to remember there's also a skull underneath your face, so you need to ensure that you keep the skull going and just redefine the skull. Just a little bit here like that. Again, I'm not using reference for this at all, but if you're new, I'd probably get up a page of reference. Have something to sculpt instead of winging it, because it won't end well if you're just starting out. By all means, you can do it and keep doing it and you keep doing it, and when you get stuck, pull up reference. That's how I learned. This is why I'm as fast as I am, because I've literally done about 1,000 heads since I started sculpting, easily. I went through a phase of doing 1 or 2 a day, and I'd probably say that helped me more than anything else. You can take courses, you can take lessons. Now people say that's probably the best way to go about it, but I feel that you don't develop your own style if you do this. And also you worry too much about measurements, and however other people seem to do it, you want to do it the way they do it. I don't really care how I do it. I just sculpt, and if I come up with something good, great. If I don't, then either I scrap it or I'll just push out the area which I don't like and I'll just redo it. It doesn't take me long, as you can see, but start building in these ears. So I've been sculpting for pretty much 10 years. I went to college. Basically, college introduced me to the software, and I spent a lot of time off college just sculpting. I didn't really attend the lessons because I was so hooked on sculpting. And then I went to university and did a game art course, thinking I was going to get into the game industry doing this sort of stuff, but very saturated market, no jobs around me. Decided to push it off, and eventually, it took a long time, but eventually I got into miniatures. So I make little tiny figurines for 3D printing, which is fun. I make quite a few a week, and now I sell them on Patreon. Well, I say sell them, I put them in packs and people subscribe to receive said packs. And let's say that I'm getting massively ripped off, but it's fine, because I still get to sell the stuff that I make, so it's extra income, I guess. And I've built a little community while doing it, so this guy is starting to look like someone or something. I'll give him some eyeballs, and I can start building that in. So I think the eyeball's supposed to be about 2.5 centimeters across, but I'm just gonna whack that in and 2.5 radius or something daft. I don't know. If you ask me specifics, I have not got a clue. I'm just trying to talk for the sake of talking. So I stream. I'm actually streaming while recording this as well, so if people pop in and chat, I'll be able to talk to them as well. Just two birds with one stone, making a recording and streaming at once. So we're coming up to 15 minutes in. Ooh. So you can start building in like his attitude almost. His hairline would be like here. It's starting to look a tiny bit like Michael from GTA 5, especially with the mouth. Well, pretty much only the mouth, which is feeling that for me, but so again, I don't want you thinking you have to work as high. You can go back down once you've got some of the forms in, because it'll keep to the form, and then things are obviously a little bit easier to move around. So start building in there again. As you can see, I am moving around very quickly, getting different things in, defining different things as I go. I find this to be the best way to work, because then you don't overwork things and you get a result relatively quickly. Something to show, I suppose. So I'm just going to get rid of this neck piece here. So, just building this chin a little bit. So next month my Patreon theme is actually like bandits. So I make this guy look as almost as if he's about to rob somebody. So it's like a horrible grin on his face. Let's bring these lips up. Bring this mouth up like this. Almost redefine that area there. Paying attention to the fat folds around the mouth. I might open his mouth as well a little bit to obviously show some horrible teeth. So I'm just going to open his mouth. Mask lasso. So bring his brow down a bit. Bring his cheeks back down. So see his mouth's open now, so it's all move around a little bit. So all I'm really bothered about at this current stage is getting just a mouth hole in there. And I can redefine it and move around and pose it in a minute. So just getting this shape in here. So it's now starting to look really bad, but we'll work it up and make it look a little bit better. Got the head shape and it's a little bit wrong. And the eyes. So it's gonna have some teeth in there shortly. I'm just gonna move these forms around a little bit more to make it almost accommodating for the open mouth now. So this part will be inflated almost. And while I'm here, I'm just gonna actually create the eyes the way they should be, because I think that's what's making it look really bad. Besides the fact I'm pretty much rushing. I'm rushing. So I'm just going to get these shapes in. And down there like that. Just going to do a quick Z remesh just to lower this, not lower the poly count, yeah, lower the poly count pretty much, but keep the forms in. And then I'm just going to subdivide and then start moving things around like this. That's weird. Ugh. I'm just building some of these teeth because I think that also might be something that isn't really working for me. Just the fact he doesn't have any. I can start building in the gum. I think by this point I would have scrapped this model. It's just not really working. I think for the sake of the video, we'll power through and see what comes of it. Just going to duplicate these and just rotate them around and use them again as the bottom jaw. Whack a tongue in there as well. start building the things I was initially trying to get involved. It's like the fat mainly. So we're coming up to just half an hour. It's not bad, but could be a lot better. Could just make this go into a full miniature. It looks like he'd be able to go pretty quick, pretty easily. Just bring his back down like this. I think having him as a full miniature would really try and convey what I'm going for. What sort of hairstyle should we give this guy? So I just saw that the cheekbones were a little bit high. It's giving it a weird look. So we'll start putting a little bit of texture into these planes here. I want them a little bit broader as well. He literally looks as about to rip somebody's fucking head off. I love it. So now it's just a matter of just pretty much making him look as angry as possible without pushing it to as much as it. Basically pushing it as far as I can go without making him look really stupid. I've just ruined this corner of the eye, so I'm going to have to fix this now. Alright. Bring it out a little bit more. So. Do I add facial hair? Let's have a look. Does he look silly with a beard? I prefer without. I'll go without completely. Hello, I am Zangief. I am bad guy. So I think now it's just a matter of just going around the model, adding a few little bits of detail, different forms, just pushing different things to make them stand out. Like this is for miniatures and busts, so it doesn't have to be hyper detailed, but the forms just need to be there. I mean, as long as you can see it from this sort of distance, it'll work. So just give him a big dirty scar. Maybe just give him on his lip here. No? Give him a Chelsea smile. Make him look a little bit more crazy. Start taking out some of the symmetry around his head. I think to make him look more gross and repulsive, I'll have to take away some of the symmetry. And break his nose as well. Move some of the sagging around under his eyes. Take away one of his teeth, maybe? So I think for a bust, this is pretty much done. There's no point really doing much more. I mean, it's only the smaller details that matter. So I'm probably just gonna stop the video here and just chop him up and render him and put this video out. Not much else really to see other than just smaller little details like this. So again, this was just a quick sculpt from scratch, no reference, just going with whatever appeared on the screen really. It turned out relatively successful actually. Fits my theme for next month's Patreon, which is bandits. I can just see this guy with a massive mace in his hand or something similar and getting ready to pop some dudes on the face. Maybe something to do with his scars as well. This is called a Chelsea smile. So basically what that means is somebody will cut the inside of your mouth and make it look like it's a smile. So I kind of associated this guy with that. So I think I'm going to call him Smiley. And he's going to cut his victims in their mouths. Guess why not? Alright, thanks for watching guys. Take care.